Hello. Today we're going to continue talking about social media advertisement. So, what about personalized advertising? Its value, and of course, their correlation with the previous topic about privacy concern. Social media is considered to be one of the greatest environments in which users interact with each other, as we tend to do. This is also used by marketing agencies, corporations, marketers in general, in order to promote their products or services to target us, the consumers. Sometimes we can also be consumers and marketers at the same time. Sometimes these paid media advertisement costs high levels of money. Sometimes it's more like organically made. One of the main paid media marketing product, the tactic itself, the most used one or one of the most used one, is personalized advertising. There are various definitions of personalized and called different names, but with the same definition. There are online behavioral advertisement, online behavioral targeting, and customized advertising, or online profiling. The personalized ones, this one is defined as a form of a promotional message sent to consumers through paid media, which is arranged based on personal information such as usernames, purchase history on the internet, psychographic location, and user lifestyle, as we talked previously on the past video. If you want to listen to that one, I recommend it. But we don't have novice studies that examine how advertising personalization is applied in the context of social media effectively. That is sad, but privacy is also very attractive in various fields and is still a paradox because one side provides positive things such as convenience, but on the other side, it just increases the concern regarding the misuse of this information. Privacy concern has several definitions in different studies. Morimoto and Messias in 2009 defined consumer privacy concerns as intrusion upon their control of marketer interactions, such as unsolicited commercial email. Privacy concerns was defined as a psychological state of anxiety stemming from negative consequences caused by privacy loss. Also in Liang and Shaw 2018 study, privacy concern is consumer factor that reduce repurchase intention. If consumers have higher level of consumer privacy concerns, it will have a negative effect on repurchase intentions, and consumers who have low privacy concerns can have high repurchase intentions and have an effect on increasing consumer satisfaction. I don't know if you ever have heard about sales funnels. So these type of sales funnels are also linked to this. If you're a consumer that has low privacy concerns, you can be more attracted and more likely to be part of this sales funnel than someone who is not. Someone who is actually very concerned about the privacy misfunction, the information misuse, and related. We have top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. And those are made in order for you to actually be engaged and be a final consumer or final successful target or targeted person for a corporation or just a campaign itself. Well, let's talk about the hypothesis development. In the era of the Internet of Things, today's consumers are increasingly selective when they want to buy a product. Consumers are always looking for information through various media before buying a product, from reviews in e-commerce, reading content or blogs, or from influencers. Personalized advertising has more advantages compared to other advertising strategies, such as right delivery at the right time, messages that match interests to previous consumer search history. Thus, advertising personalization creates benefits for both consumers and marketers because it provides the right preferences according to consumer needs. So these funnels, as I was mentioning in the past, these are made in order for you to keep your attention, to retain your attention, and to acquire a service or a product at the end. They are linked to a CRM, and that CRM is where the information is going to be stored. So a funnel can be activated right away. Then after a couple of months, it can be reactivated. And then even after a couple of years, it really depends on the interest of the company and what they want to achieve depending on the campaign. So the first hypothesis is personalized advertising has a positive effect on the advertising value. Feelings or of liking or disliking an object can link to consumer attitudes and behavior. When consumers perceive personalized advertising as a beneficial advertisement, consumers can link to positive attitudes and behaviors such as purchase intention for products displayed by marketers. Consumers with positive attitudes to advertising have shown positive responses such as purchase intention for brands in ad impressions. Consumers who consider advertisements useful then lean to positive behavior such as purchase value and are also involved in the brands advertised by marketers. If consumers feel that advertisements are useful and make it easier for consumers to find products that are of interest, it will encourage the purchase intention. Finding in previous research stated that advertising value has a positive effect on purchase intention. We have here also the content of value that we can hear nowadays, or also an increased amount of people taking care and actually giving more importance to aesthetics and also giving more importance to a feed and what we call branding itself. It's not only to launch a campaign, it's not only to have a targeted list of people that might have interest in if what I want to publish. It's also taking care of the content this person is going to be seeing, how they're going to see it, and when. So we have hypothesis number 2, advertising value as a positive effect on purchase intention. Personalized advertising impressions that match the current location, likes, interests, and consumer search history cannot be separated from the collection and use of information in its compilation. For some people, this can be considered uh, probably surpassing the limit of their privacy. When consumers who have privacy concerns see ad impressions, namely ad personalization, consumers can feel suspicious and worried. For example, when you get like a random email with your name. Lian and Shaw in 2018 found that the higher the level of consumer privacy concerns has a negative moderating effect on repurchase intentions, and consumers who have low privacy concerns again can have positive moderated effect to repurchase intentions and have an effect on increasing consumer satisfaction. Now we have like a field called customer success. It's not only in order for you or for the corporation to provide customer support. It's in order to ensure a well-managed relationship with the client so that the client stays within the company for a long time. So is I don't want you to answer your questions. Now the priority is for you to have a great relationship within the company and to be a long lasting journey together. So when someone has a high privacy concerns, they will feel that the advertising is less useful, even though the advertising is tailored to their personal preference. So the following hypothesis is informed or is formed as privacy concerns moderated negative effect on personalized advertising and advertising values. Now we have the hypothesis number three, that is personalization of ads based on relevance and usefulness of product services advertised has a significant impact on consumers' purchase intention. And the number four is privacy concerns with respect to personalized ads on social media impact consumers' purchase intentions. The hypothesis constructed was based on the understanding that repeated exposures of personalized advertisements on social media could either boost the engagement or repel consumer interest as a result of irritation. It is widely believed that repeated exposure helps in building brand recall or actually building like the long lasting relationship between customer, company, or brand, a crucial parameter for converting sales prospect into potential sales. So when you have like a segmented list, people that you already know that is has certain interest in your product or service, then you can put that people on the list. And because it's not random people, when you pull out a list for a funnel, it is because either could be like previous customers or potential customers already have like some kind of intention or intent in buying something very similar that you are offering. So frequency of encountering personalized advertisements directly correlate to users' emotions about the platform. That is something that I also have to point out. When we connect branding with a great copywriting, we can also not only build out a sales page, we can also build out a story. This is what we call storytelling in order for the customer or potential buyer to connect with your brand. Lesser, more relevant, and open minded advertisements can propel the user's emotions positively, while more frequent, less relevant, and highly targeted advertisements could lead to negative emotional reaction from users. We have this kind of bunch of ads at the same time. So, for example, every time that you're watching a video where you're driving and you see these just wide open panels that are big in the middle of the road, they aren't using like a targeted, more specified list. They are just building out visibility or being part of a huge campaign of promotion that they need more people to see instead of having a segmented list of people that is ready to buy. Instead, for example, when I do some kind of paid advertisement, for example, on Facebook, I can use AVA testing. I can put to submitted list and then I can launch the campaign and see which one is performing better on a more small on a smaller audience and also with segmented keywords. Are finding that frequency of exposure to personalized advertisements on social media does influence the consumer purchase decisions is concurrent with several other studies. We have one made in 2020 that reported a contrasting finding by tracking eye movements of consumers. They also found that consumers do not necessarily find personalized job advertisements attractive or unattractive based on frequency, but it does heighten the fixation towards ads. We also found in 2018 that the frequency has a core element that influences advertising impact for ads on social media. Dynamic targeting and retargeting are the different phases of personalized advertisements where companies utilize the browsing behavior of users to predict their interest and purchase patterns so as to target them better. Also, what we have like nowadays is cookies. So each website can have the right to use track um, some type of information in order for them to know the profile of the user that is visiting them. So we have that relevance plays a key role here, since lesser relevance or use to the user would often result in negative emotion towards the personalized ad. Hence, utilizing relevance and usefulness not only ensures that users are hooked better, but also reduces the company's cost of cons- customer search and acquisition, as it was stated in Frick in 2018. Basically, we can replace personalization with relevance as any brand product advertised outside the interests and needs of a customer has extremely low chances of generating an intrinsic urge to buy the product or brand. The find is that the customer purchase intention positively correlating to the relevance and usefulness metric of personalized advertisements on social media are concurrent with several other studies. So, again, some people or some companies, they can have the target as visibility, they can have the target to reach as many people as possible, and not necessarily just for you to buy. It is in order for them to build out a name, to amplify the sound of a brand, and for you to have them on your radar. There is a lot of controversy hovering over the ethicality of acquiring, utilizing, and in some cases sharing user data across firms for purposes of personalized advertising or data driven product innovation and marketing. We have that permission marketing has now transpired into an act of consent without being conscious of the permission being asked for. It happens a lot when we download an app that if you don't agree to certain policies, you cannot use the app. You cannot even open it and create a user. So this can be a bit disguised in order for the companies to acquire your permissions. But it could be also creating a cognitive laziness from our side. For example, is when we end up like sharing more information with an app sometime with rather than with someone in person. So, for example, also when it's some kind of metric taking kind of app that they can take our information for medical purposes or more personal purposes. And at the end, we ended up sharing more information with the app itself rather than with the person face to face. Many consumer research studies have repeatedly highlighted that customers do indeed feel uncomfortable with personalized advertising and tend to reject it. But on the other hand, marketers' data and follow up consumer buying decision studies reflect the success of personalized advertising in boosting engagement and sell. Basically, it just depends on the media that you're going to use, the social media platform, and the way you're going to do it, and the final intention of the campaign. Because not all the campaigns have the end purpose of selling you something. So when it like personalized, of course, it takes more time to have a target list, take out all the people that isn't fit into your company. So sometimes it's just like massive. We tend to see on a day to day, or when you have just a targeted message just for you. But let me know if you have found like similar examples. What have been like a personalized ad that you have received on your own, or do you get bothered with the ads that are like, for example, on the big screen when you're driving your car and you see this huge announcement? Do you get bothered by it? Let me know. I'm going to continue talking about this topic because I think it's really interesting. So let me know.